Wednesday evening to you. It is 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here with weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. A little bit of a forecast bust temperature-wise today because the clouds hung a little bit tough as a frontal boundary kind of just didn't sag far enough to the south to clear out the sky for a while today. So temperatures did struggle for a bit today. We had a high of 85 in the forecast, but yeah, we didn't hit that at the airport today. Only the upper 70s to around 80 in most backyards today, thanks to the clouds and even some spotty showers. Now, the showers part of things, that was not a surprise, but yeah, temperatures did bust on the low side today. It was the opposite of this 10 years ago today, though. We were in the middle of a hot July of 2012. 2012 overall was a very hot year with a remarkably warm month of March. July also was quite hot. In fact, we haven't seen temperatures like we had in July of 2012 since 10 years ago this month. 95 degrees was the high temperature on today's date 10 years ago. On tomorrow's date, the high was 98 degrees. Now, we hit 96 later in the month back in July of 2012, but we haven't had 96 or above since then. And yeah, we haven't even come close to that 98 degree temperature that we had a year ago, or 10 years ago, tomorrow, I should say. So 10 years ago, we were in the middle of a pretty intense heat wave across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Now, we did have a few showers and some thunder in the middle of the night last night. A few showers early today, and some downpours here and there across the area this afternoon. 24-hour rainfall totals from our local rain gauge network, basically a goose egg around Youngstown over to Boardman up to Austintown. But last night we had some pretty decent downpours up towards Cortland, Mesopotamia, Kinsman, places like that. And this afternoon, most of the activity was focused down into Columbiana County. There's a rain gauge around the New Garden area. Hanoverton, 0.34, about a third of an inch. Down towards Calcutta, most of this was overnight last night, another quarter of an inch down there towards Glenmore and Calcutta. Now, when we take a look at some radar estimates, kind of in between our rain gauge network here, especially this afternoon, we had some pretty tropical downpours right around Lisbon, right around Route 30. Hanoverton, over to Guilford Lake, over to Lisbon, West Point, places like that. You go north of there wasn't much. You go south of there wasn't as much as well. But yeah, some legit tropical downpours for a time earlier on today. We missed out on severe weather today as expected, but it was another active day off to our south with several reports of wind damage today from around Cincinnati down towards Louisville, over towards Parkersburg, Marietta, Charleston. We even had a tornado warning for a time near I-71 in southwest Ohio earlier on today. The severe weather threat as of this evening has ended across the Ohio Valley. Still a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for parts of Virginia and North Carolina and the upstate of South Carolina this evening. The state is kind of bisected or dissected, I'm not sure which is right, by a kind of a stationary front. Now, it's a pretty subtle boundary. It's not a huge change on either side of this, but this is the front that delineates the real soupy Florida-like air mass from a somewhat drier, more stable air mass across far northern Ohio. So at the Youngstown Warren Airport in Trumbull County at 7 p.m., the dew point was 66. Still pretty humid, but not quite as tropical as Columbus and Morgantown, places like that, where dew points are in the lower 70s early this evening. Now, the more refreshing air is tantalizingly close off to our north and east, but it's going to stay up there until late Friday into Friday night. That front kind of just sags far enough to the south tomorrow that we've eliminated any rain chances from our forecast. This is going to be a pretty seasonable Thursday with temperatures warmer than today. I think there'll be a little more sun than today. We'll make our way into the mid-80s. The forecast for Friday remains a decent one. If anything, things look a little slower as far as the onset of any spotty shower and thunderstorm activity on Friday. And so as we get into the afternoon and early evening, maybe that's when we get a shower or a storm. But I don't think it's a lot of rain at this point. Once again, the higher rain chances are probably just off to our south, closer to I-70. Either way, we've got a great weekend ahead as this front sags off to the south. It'll turn mostly sunny on Saturday, and a beautiful Sunday is on tap. And take a look at the dew points this weekend, dropping from the 60s into the 50s, maybe even bottoming out in the 40s by Sunday afternoon into parts of Monday, before the soupy air returns by the middle of next week. Now, 10 years ago, we were in the middle of a pretty intense heat wave. Nothing like that coming our way anytime soon. I don't think we have a 90-degree date coming, maybe until 10 days to 2 weeks from now. Probably closer to 2 weeks. So this is the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center today, covering July 14th to July 20th. You know, I don't think it's unusually chilly or anything like that, but at least a couple of days where we might not get out of the 70s, kind of like today. And don't forget, middle of July, the warmest time of the year, climatologically speaking. Our average high is about 83, so a 79, 80-degree day is cooler than average, and I think we'll have a few of those kinds of days during the middle of July as the heat, it'll be more centered across the western U.S. So, if you're not a fan of intense heat, the kind of heat that like we've had at times this summer, and of course we had 10 years ago, this is not a bad pattern at all for at least another 10 days or so. I'm seeing some signs that the last third of July, say July 20th through the 30th, 31st, will be quite a bit warmer than kind of the middle of the month. So we'll talk more about the longer range trends, of course, as we get a little bit closer to the middle of the month. Today is only the 6th day of July, and tomorrow is going to be a pretty nice day, so enjoy, and thank you for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks.